Welcome to the video PayPal checkout integration in JavaScript with me, Nam Haming from CodeJava.net. In details, you will learn how to add PayPal buttons onto a checkout page of a shopping web application and write JavaScript code to capture payment from buyer. And I will demo making payment using a PayPal account and using a credit card. This is a checkout page of a shopping application. You see, it shows the shipping information or the summary information and payment method. And in this video, I will show you how to integrate a PayPal checkout functionality into this checkout page. Displays PayPal buttons like this, which allows the customer to make payment using their own PayPal account or using debit or credit card. And this is a PayPal checkout user interface that allows the customer to make payment using a PayPal account. And in case the customer wants to make payment using debit or credit card, this form will be displayed that captures the card information from the buyer. Before integrating PayPal checkout into your shopping application, you must have a PayPal personal or business account for receiving payment from the buyers, and a PayPal sandbox account for testing in sandbox environment, and a PayPal sandbox app for integrating PayPal buttons onto the checkout page. For creating a new PayPal account, I recommend you to follow my video how to create a PayPal personal account on my YouTube channel at this URL. You can see the link in the description of this video. And for creating a PayPal sandbox account, I recommend you to watch the video how to create a PayPal sandbox account also on my YouTube channel at this URL. You can see the link in the description of this video. Let me show you a sample shopping web application. You see the shopping website in which I developed the main functionalities such as products listing. As you can see, all the categories of products are displayed on the home page here, and I can view products in a specific category such as in digital cameras here. You see, there are some products in this category, and I can view the details of a product. This one. You see, this is a Canon camera, and if I want to buy this product, I can click the add to cart button here to put this product into my shopping cart, and I need to log in. So I will log in as a customer using email and password here. Okay, you see, I have signed in successfully as the customer, and I can view my shopping cart page here. You see, there are two products in this shopping cart, a Canon camera and a micro SD card. And I can click the checkout button here to make payment and place order. Click checkout. You see, this is a checkout page in which I can review the shipping information, order summary information, product total amount, shipping cost total, payment total amount. And in this video, I will show you how to add PayPal buttons here that allows the customer to make payment and place order. And this is a project of the Shopee website. As you can see, it is a Java project in which I used Spring Framework with Spring Boot. It is a Spring Boot application, as you can see here. So I used Java on the server side, and on the client side, I used HTML with Bootstrap, popular CSS library. Here you see, and jQuery, popular JavaScript library. And this is the code of the checkout page, checkout HTML file here. You see. So in the next few minutes, I will show you how to update this checkout page in order to integrate PayPal checkout buttons that allows the customer to make payment using their own PayPal account or using debit or credit card. And you can see I used Timeleaf as the template engine because Spring Framework is working very well with Timeleaf template engine. As you can see, Timeleaf expression here, you see. Before writing code, let me explain how the PayPal button is working on the checkout page. So firstly, we need to put some JavaScript code in the checkout page to display the PayPal buttons like this. And then the customer or the buyer will click a PayPal button. And then the button will call PayPal Orders API to set up a transaction. And then the button will launch the PayPal checkout user interface that lets the customer to make payment using PayPal account or using debit credit card, and then the buyer approves the payment. The button will call PayPal Orders API to finalize the transaction, and finally, our application will display a successful message to the customer or the buyer. Make sense? So in the checkout page, we need to write some code like this. Firstly, we need to load the PayPal JavaScript SDK, passing the client ID code, and then we need to write some JavaScript code to set up PayPal buttons like this. Specify the order details, customer details, transaction details in the create order function. And we can also handle some callback functions such as on approve, on cancel, on error. The onApprove function will be invoked when the customer approves the payment, and the onCancel function is invoked when the customer cancels the payment, and the onError function will be invoked when an error occurs that prevents the customer from doing checkout. And finally, display the payment options or payment buttons on a div container with this ID. So in the HTML file, we need to declare a div section with the corresponding ID. Make sense? Now I will show you how to create a PayPal sandbox app. So head over to the PayPal developer website at this URL developer.paypal.com. And you see this is the home page of PayPal developer website, and click the button login to dashboard here, and you should log in using your PayPal account which is intended to receive payment from the customer. So enter the email and password. Okay, so I have signed into my PayPal developer, and you can see in the dashboard page here it displays the REST API apps under two types, sandbox or live here. And for testing purpose in development mode, we should create a sandbox app. So you can see there are 3 existing apps here, and click the button create app here to create a new one, and enter the app name. For example, ShopMe sandbox app, and the app type by default is merchant, and just click create app. Okay, you see, so I have successfully created a PayPal sandbox app with the name ShopMe sandbox app, and you can see the client ID code here, which is used to add PayPal buttons onto the checkout page. And for PayPal API integration, you can also need to use the PayPal client secret code here. Okay, so you see the app feature options, accept payments, invoicing, payouts, and so on. Okay. Now let's write the code, update the checkout page to add a PayPal button. So at the end of the page, we use a script tag to load the PayPal JavaScript SDK using the script tag like this. src source attribute point to the URL of PayPal JavaScript SDK, paypal.com/sdk/js, and then we need to pass the value of client ID as a query parameter here. Client ID equal to the value of the client ID of the sandbox app which we created before here. So copy the client ID code here and paste here. You see. And then we need to write some JavaScript code to set up PayPal buttons like this. PayPal dot buttons, and we need to specify the order details, customer details in the function named create order. Function data actions are the two parameters, and we render the PayPal buttons on this page in a div container with the ID is PayPal button container. So in this HTML file, we need to create a new div section with that ID. So here I create a new div section in this under the payment method section here. Okay, here div ID equal to PayPal button container. That's it. And now we can refresh the checkout page here. Refresh checkout. I need to log in again. Checkout page here, and you can see the two PayPal buttons appear here. The first one asks the customer to make payment using PayPal account, and the second one asks the customer to make payment using debit or credit card. And you can view the page source. And here you see the source JavaScript here. And you can press F12 in Chrome browser to ensure that no errors in the JavaScript console. Okay, no error now. And then we need to specify the transaction details in JavaScript code here in the create order function. So we need to write the code like this: return actions dot order dot create. And to capture the payment from the buyer, we need to specify the intent is capture to capture payment from buyer. And then we need to specify the information of the payer like this: name, given name, and surname. And in this project, sorry, we need to have a colon here. And in this project, in the controller class in Java code, controller in the handler method, so checkout page here, it sets some attributes onto the model here, the customer object here. So in the view, I can get the details of the authenticated customer from this customer object. Customer, you can see in this entity class, I have the fields email, and in the super class, we have first name, last name, phone number, arrest line 1, arrest line 2, city, state, postal code, country. So in the view, we can get the details of the customer, of the authenticated customer, using time-lived expression with a JavaScript code like this. The first name of the customer using time-lived expression, customer dot first name, and last name of the customer dot last name. Okay, and then refresh the checkout page and view the page source, and you can see it generated the customer name, first name Tina and surname Jamerson here. And similarly, we need to specify the remaining details of the payer. The next information is the arrest information. Arrest like this. Arrest line 1. Customer dot arrest line 1. And arrest line 2. And city which is the field name admin area 2 in PayPal here. Customer.ct, and the state of the customer is in the field name admin area 1. Customer.state here, and then the postal code, zip code, and country code. Postal code, customer.postal code, and then the country code required by PayPal. Customer.country.code. So basically, you need to set up the transaction information dynamically like this based on the information of the authenticated customer. And then the next information is the email address. Email address is customer.email. And then the phone number of the customer. Like this, phone type is mobile, and phone number, national number, and the value is the actual phone number of the authenticated customer. Customer.phone number. Okay, that's the information of the buyer. Now refresh the checkout page and view the page source, and you can see the generated information of the buyer. Here you see arrest line 1, arrest line 2, city, state, postal code, country code. And note that for the arrest in the United States, the state here must be the code of the state, not state name. So for the state Ohio, we need to specify the code of the state. For example, the code of the state Ohio is OH. And for other countries, you may not need to specify the code of the state. And next, we need to specify the information of the amount, the money which the customer need to pay. Okay, after the payer here, we need to specify the purchased units like this, which is an array, and amount, value in this format like this. For example, 99.50, and the currency code, for example, USD, United States dollar. Okay, and then refresh the checkout page here. View the page source. Okay, you see. Now we can click the PayPal button here. You see, this is a PayPal checkout user interface that lets the customer to make payment using PayPal account. And you can see it automatically displays the email of the customer here. And click the button debit or credit card here. And you see it shows a form that allows the customer to enter card number, expiration date, and security code to make payment using debit or credit card. And we should update the code to set the payment amount equal to the payment total in the checkout page here. So I update the code here, the value of payment amount here. So in the handler method, I have the object checkout info. I have the method get payment total for PayPal that returns the payment total amount according to the format required by PayPal like this here. Okay, so in the view here we specify the payment amount dynamically here like this. Checkout info dot payment total for PayPal. Okay, and then also the currency code should be dynamically specified based on the currency code of the application. So in the handler method here, I have another attribute currency code here. Okay, so the payment amount and currency code dynamically provided here. Okay, and refresh the checkout page here. Okay, and view the page source, and you can see the amount is equal to the amount in the checkout page here, 670.43, and currency code USD. Now I will test making payment using PayPal account. So I click the PayPal button here and log in to my PayPal account using a PayPal sandbox account. Log in. You can see the URL is sandbox.paypal.com here. And you see it displays the amount of money I must pay here, 670.43 USD here. And the shipping address information is the information in my PayPal account. And this PayPal account is linked to a credit card with this number. And the currency of my card is in British pound. So you see here it shows the amount in British pound here and the conversion rate here. So to make payment, I click the Pay Now button here to pay this amount. Okay. For now, I just close this dialog and try to click the button debit or credit card here. And here I need to enter the card number, expiration date, and security code. Let me enter a fake card number like this: 402032031270390396, and expiration date is September 2025. Security code 716, and click Pay Now. And you need to specify billing address for this transaction. You see, it automatically fills the billing arrest is the arrest information we specify in the code here in the payer object. Here you see view the pay source. You see the information arrest information here is used for the billing arrest here. And to make payment, I can click the pay now button here. For now, I just cancel the payment. And next, we should write the code to handle the callback functions on approve, on cancel, and on error. Come back to the project here. And here we need to specify the next function after the create order function here. Okay, so we specify the first callback function on approve here. Function data actions. This on approve callback function will be invoked when the buyer approves the payment. So we can write the code to verify the transaction, show the successful message to the customer here. Payment approved. And for testing purpose, I just log the data information here. Here we need to write return actions dot order dot capture and then function details. And here inside this code block, we write console.log to bring out the object details here to the JavaScript console in the browser. Details. And then we can alert thanks for your payment. Something like this for testing purpose. Now we can test making payment using a PayPal account. Refresh the checkout page. Click PayPal button. Okay, I already sign in my PayPal account and click Pay Now. And you see, I got the message thanks for your payment here, meaning that the code in the callback function on approve has been invoked by the PayPal button here. You see, and press F12 in Chrome browser here. You will see an object printed here, which is the result of the code console.log, the details object here. And you can see the details of this object here. Intent capture ID. This is the order ID, PayPal order ID, payer information here you see. And status completed here you see. Now, in JavaScript code, I can get the order ID here. Order ID equal to details.id. The ID field here you see. ID, and we also get the value of the status field here. Okay, so here we get status equal details.status. And we update the alert message here. Order ID, status. Okay, and we can test again. Refresh the checkout page. click PayPal button and click Pay Now. And you see it says thanks for the payment, order ID here, and status completed here. That means the payment has been made successfully by the customer using a PayPal account. And you can check the transactions made in PayPal Sandbox account. So head over to sandbox.paypal.com and log in using PayPal Sandbox account. The account which is used to make payment using PayPal button here. Because I already signed in, so I see the dashboard here, and you can see in the recent activity here, it displays the recent transactions here. You see the latest one with the amount is 670.43 here, exactly the amount in the checkout page here. You see, so click here to view the details of this transaction. You see, pay with Visa credit card and the amount in British pound here. You see, ship to rest here. And the other transactions here you see. Log out. Now I will test making payment using credit card. So click the button debit or credit card on the checkout page here. And you see, it opens up a pop-up dialog. And I need to enter my card information here. So I enter the card number, select the country here, and the card number 4032031270790390396. This is just a fake card number. Expiration date September 2025. Security code 716. Billing address here. State Ohio in the United States. Ohio. Zip code. Okay. Phone number. And click the button continue as West here to make payment using my own credit card instead of using PayPal account. Click continue as West here. You see, transaction is successful. Thanks for the payment and order ID and status completed here. That means the payment has been made successfully using a credit card. And next, let's write another callback function. After on approve here, on cancel function data. And this callback function will be invoked when the customer cancels the payment. Payment cancelled. And for testing purpose, we just alert some message here. Payment cancelled. And we can test cancellation of payment. Refresh shopping cart, checkout, and click PayPal button, and then close the pop-up dialog. And you see the message payment cancelled here. And click a button debit or credit card, and click to close the pop-up dialog, and you see payment cancelled here. And another callback function you can use is on error function error. And this callback function on error will be invoked in case PayPal reports validation error for the transaction details information here. Something wrong in this information, the on error callback function will be invoked. Now for testing purpose, I just alert warning message here like this. Something wrong with the arrest information that prevents checkout. Okay, and for testing purpose, I just change the country code here to unknown value, for example, this one, and test, refresh the checkout page, and click PayPal. And you see, we got the message, something wrong with your arrest information that prevents checkout here. So that's the purpose of using the callback function on error here, you see. Makes sense? So far I have been testing in a PayPal sandbox environment. To go live, you need to create a PayPal live app and then use the client ID of the live app instead of the sandbox one. So head over to the PayPal developer site, log in using the PayPal account that is intended to receive payment. And click the live button here and create a live app here and enter the app name. For example, Shopme live app and click create app. If you see this message, just go to the home page, go to dashboard again, live, and you see the live app was actually created here, Shopme live app. Click on the app name to get the client ID code here. Copy the client ID code and then replace in the checkout page here. The script tag that loads PayPal SDK here. Replace the client ID code here by the code of the live app. That's it to go live the PayPal integration. And to learn more about PayPal checkout integration, I recommend you to go to PayPal developer site at this URL and the PayPal checkout documentation at this URL. If you want to learn code a complete shopping website, I recommend you to enroll in my Spring Boot e-commerce ultimate course here on Udemy. You see, to learn build a real-life shopping web application using Java, Spring Framework, TimeLeaf, Bootstrap, jQuery, and HTML. And this is the course content. And you will learn how to integrate PayPal payment in the section code checkout module here. You see, you will learn code place order with COD, code send order confirmation email, create PayPal accounts, code payment for checkout page, code validate PayPal order, review transaction for PayPal sandbox account, test checkout on smartphone. So hope to see you in this course. Okay, so far you have learned how to integrate PayPal checkout functionality into a shopping website. I hope you will find this video helpful. Please subscribe to my channel, like, comment, and share this video. Thanks for watching.